prove that example, prove that the set S equals 110, 101, 011 is a basis of the vector space, R cube, Show that the vector 111, may replace any one of the vectors, any one of the vectors of S to form a new basis of R cube, of the vectors of S to form a new basis of R cube. But the same is not true for the vector 312. So what does it state? It states that the set S equals these three vectors is a basis of R cube. The first part is very easy. I'm not going to do this, okay? This will be your homework. Prove that this is a basis of R cube. You know how to do this. Then the second part is saying, show that the vector 111 may replace any one of the vector of the set to form a new basis of R cube. That means we can take this 111 as beta in the replacement theorem, right? If we choose beta equals 111 and we want to apply the replacement theorem, then by replacement theorem beta can replace alpha j if cj is not equal to 0 in the linear combination of the elements of the basis element. That means whenever 111 it is written as C1 into, that means the linear combination of the basis element, that is C1 into 110 plus C2 into 101 plus C3 into 011. Okay. Now by replacement theorem, we can replace this one if C1 not equal to 0. We can replace this one by beta if C2 not equal to 0. And we can replace this vector by beta if C3 not equal to 0. By applying replacement theorem. So let's check the value of C1, C2, C3 and which one is non-zero. Then we will replace the corresponding vector by beta, which is 111 here. So at first trying to find the constant of C1, C2, C3. So from the right hand side what we can get, C1 plus C2 equal to 1. Then from the second component C1 plus C3 equal to 1. From the third component C2 plus C3 equal to 1. Now solve these three and get the result for C1, C2, C3. How will you solve it? We can solve it if we take this one and this one, subtracting these two. What will we get? C1 minus C3 equal to 0. That is C1 equals C3. Now put C1 equals C3 in this equation. C1 plus C1 equals 1. That is 2C1 equals 1. So C1 equals half. And C1, C3 same. So this is equal C3. Now putting any one of the value of C3, putting the value of C3 in the third equation, we will get C2 plus half equal to 1. That is C2 equal to half. So the constant getting the value half, half, half. So we can write 111 equals half into 110 plus half into 101 and plus half into 011. Okay. That means this is non-zero, so we can replace this vector in the basis by beta. This is not equal to 0, we can replace this vector by this vector, that is beta, in the basis, and similarly we can also replace this vector. So the result is proved, that is beta equals this 1 1 1 can replace any vector in the basis, any vector in the basis by replacement theorem. By replacement theorem. Okay. And the next part is the same is not true for the vector 3 1 2. That means here you need to take beta equals 3 1 2. Okay. Then 3 1 2 will be some c1 into the first vector, c2 into the second vector plus c3 into the third vector. Then you need to check c1 c2 c3 value of these three. Okay. Then obviously all of them shouldn't be equal to 0. Some of them will be equal to 0 and some of them will be non-zero. That means it cannot replace any vector. It can replace a particular vector. You need to find that which one of c1, c2, c3 is non-zero and which one is 0 basically. Then we can say that the same thing is not true because all the constants are not non-zero here. This part will be your homework. Exactly the same procedure you need to apply. Next example is also the application of replacement theorem. This is also another type of important application. The example is find a basis for the vector space R cube. Find a basis for the vector space R cube that contains the vectors 1 0 1 and 1 1 1. Find a basis for the vector space of R cube that contains the vectors 1 0 1 and 1 1 1. Now check R cube, that means its dimension is 3. So any of the basis of R cube contains 3 elements, exactly 3 elements, and here it is given this and this. So we are taking the first vector as suppose alpha 1 and the second vector as alpha 2. Then we need to find another vector alpha 3 such that alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 becomes a basis. Right? So let alpha 1 equal to the first vector which is 1 0 1 and alpha 2 equals 1 1 1. So we need to find alpha 3 such that alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 forms a basis of R cube. Right? How will we do that? We will apply it by replacement theorem. So for that, what does it state, replacement theorem? It states that a vector can replace any vector of the basis if the corresponding coefficient is non-zero in the linear expression. So at first we need to consider a basis of R cube. Okay. Then we will replace, in that basis we will replace alpha 2 and alpha 3. For that reason we are considering the standard basis of R cube. Considering the standard basis of R cube. What is the standard basis of R cube? It is 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. Right? We are naming it as epsilon 1, epsilon 2 and epsilon 3. Then it will be easier to deal with. Now as this is the basis and considering the first vector alpha 1. How we can express alpha 1 as the linear combination of epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3. We can write alpha 1 as 1 into 1 0 0, that is epsilon 1, plus 0 into the second one, that is epsilon 2, plus 1 into the third one, right? This is our epsilon 1, so 1 into epsilon 1 plus 0 into epsilon 2 plus 1 into epsilon 3. Okay. Now if we want to apply the replacement theorem, it states that alpha 1 can replace a vector epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3 if the corresponding coefficient is non-zero. Now here we get the coefficient, non-zero coefficient, as this one and this one. Right? So we can replace epsilon 1 by alpha 1, or we can replace epsilon 3 by alpha 1. We are choosing epsilon 1 in general. You can take epsilon 3 also. So alpha 1, next epsilon 2 comma epsilon 3 is a new basis of R cube. Right? Now we need to find three elements in the basis where alpha 1 and alpha 2 must be the members. Now here only alpha 1 is the element. Now we need to replace alpha 2 in any one of the positions of epsilon 2 or epsilon 3, so that we can get a basis where alpha 1 and alpha 2 both are present. For that reason we are applying replacement theorem again, that is trying to replace alpha 2 by any two of these two. So we can write alpha 2 as C1 alpha 1 plus C2 epsilon 2 plus C3 epsilon 3. As this is the basis element, as this is basis elements, these are, and alpha 2 is any non-zero vector, we can obviously write this. So we need to find the value of C1, C2, C3. Then which one is non-zero? We will replace this corresponding vector by alpha 2. Then our work will be done. So alpha 2 is 1 1 1 plus equal C1 into the first vector alpha 1, which is 1 0 1, plus C2 into the second vector, which is epsilon 2, that is 0 1 0, plus C3 into the third vector, which is epsilon 3, that means 0 0 1. Now we need to find the value of C1, C2, C3. Find it. C1 from the first component, C1 equals 1. Then from the second component, C2 equals 1. And from the third component, C1 plus C3 equals 1. So from here C1, C2 we get the value, and C3 will be, if we put C1 equals 1, it will be 0. So from here we can write alpha 2 equals 1 into alpha 1 plus 1 into epsilon 2 plus 0 into epsilon 3. Right? That means this is non-zero, this is non-zero. We can replace either alpha 1 by alpha 2, or we can replace epsilon 2 by alpha 2. But we won't do the first option, because we need to put alpha 1 and alpha 2 both. We need to put alpha 1 and alpha 2 both in the basis. So we will replace epsilon 2 by alpha 2. So the new basis will be alpha 1 comma alpha 2 comma epsilon 3 is the new basis of R cube. Right? So this epsilon 3 is our required alpha 3. So by applying replacement theorem twice, we get a new basis of R cube which contains alpha 1 and alpha 2. This is the exact example of the application of replacement theorem. Okay, this type of examples are very important. That is, get a basis which contains a particular vector or contains 2 or 3 fixed vectors like this. So this is the procedure how to do that, or how to apply replacement theorem. Now I am giving you another example, just exactly the same. You need to find that. Okay, write down the next example. Find a basis for the space r to the power 4. Find a basis for the space r to the power 4 which contains the vectors 1 1 0 0 and 1 1 1 0. Okay, just apply the same procedure, apply replacement theorem, then we will get a basis for r cube or r to the power 4 which contains the vectors this and this. Now check here, you need to get 2 more vectors, like this one is alpha 1, this one alpha 2. You need to find alpha 3 and alpha 4. As if this is a 4th dimensional vector space, there will be total 4 vectors. So at first consider the standard basis for r to the power 4, which is 1 0 0 0, 0 1 0 0, 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 0 1. Then replace the elements one by one by alpha 1 and alpha 2. Then you will get the required result. Then next one is, the last topic for this discussion is coordinates vectors of an ordered basis. Coordinate vector of an ordered basis. So what does it mean? At first, what does it mean by ordered basis? We know about basis, but we don't know what is ordered basis. Ordered basis means is nothing, just the basis, and you have to keep the order of the elements same. That means, suppose we get one basis alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 of r cube, suppose. This is a basis of r cube. Now this will said to be an ordered basis if we fixed the order of the elements. That is, first it will be alpha 1, then the second one will be alpha 2 and the third one will be alpha 3. That the order is fixed here. So if we consider like this, alpha 2, alpha 1, alpha 3, then this will obviously be the same basis of r cube but not the same ordered basis. Here the order is different here, right? This will be a basis but not same ordered basis. So for an ordered basis, the position of the elements should be fixed. Now you need to find the coordinate vector of a vector relative to an ordered basis. That means nothing, just you would given a basis, an ordered basis, and you would given another vector from the vector space. You just need to find that C1, C2, C3 whenever we will try to express it as a linear combination of the basis element. So it will be clear if I take one example. Okay, let's take, this is our ordered basis and we have given you one vector beta belongs to the space. Then beta can also be expressed as C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus C3 alpha 3, because these are the basis element. Then this C1, C2, C3 will said to be the coordinate vector. Then these are said to be the coordinate vector. That's it. Okay, so let's do an example. Find the coordinate vector of alpha equals 131 relative to the ordered basis, relative to the ordered basis 111 comma 110 comma 100. This is our ordered basis and this is another vector alpha. We just need to find the coordinate vector of alpha. That means just write down alpha equals C1 into the first vector, C2 into 110 plus C3 into 100. Okay, we will keep the position fixed. This always comes first, this comes second, and this comes 3 because it's an ordered basis. Then try to find the value of C1, C2, C3. This is your homework. Okay, get the value of C1, C2, C3. I'm telling it, what will be the value of C1, C2, C3? C1 will be 1 and C2 will be 2 and C3 will be minus 2. Okay, so this vector 1, 2, comma minus 2 is said to be the coordinate vector of alpha. Coordinate vector of alpha. Okay, you need to complete that procedure to get the value of C1, C2, C3. So then 1, 2, minus 2 is said to be the coordinate vector alpha relative to that ordered basis. So this is how we get the coordinate vector of a particular vector in the space. So these are the few examples of this basis and dimension chapter. And I'm giving you another homework, just think about it. In the next lecture we will discuss about it. What will be the dimension of C over R? What is the dimension of the vector space C? C means set of complex numbers over the field R. Over the field R. Okay, this is your homework. Just think a little bit. We will discuss about it in the next class. And this is very easy. And these are the few examples we have discussed in this class. Most of the examples I have taken from the exercise of SK Mappa book. All if you have that SK Mappa book, you can check, and all the remaining other exercises it is given in the SK Mappa book. You should try to solve them. Okay, these are very important, these exercises of SK Mappa book. And that's it for today. In the next lecture we will discuss about all the proof of the theorems which we have discussed today, that is replacement theorem or deletion theorem and many others theorem which we have used and checked their applications. In the next class we will prove all that theorems. There are about 6 to 7 theorems in that chapter. We will discuss about their proof in the next class.